Trying to teach a child to read, man, it can feel like you're climbing a mountain, right? Just one word at a time. But what if I told you there's a kind of secret code? A code that could unlock hundreds of words almost instantly. Well, today, we're going to crack that code together.
Yeah. Does this feel familiar? You're just drowning in a sea of flashcards, going through them one by one by one. Cat, bat, set. It's exhausting. It's overwhelming for you, and it's overwhelming for them. There's got to be a better way, right?
And that's what we'll call the reading challenge. It's that huge, sometimes scary leap from just knowing your letters to actually reading words. But you know what? Don't worry. There is an amazing, powerful strategy that can turn this whole challenge into a huge win.
Okay, so the secret? It's all about finding a pattern, a really powerful one. We're talking about CVC words. Seriously, mastering this simple little structure is a total game changer. So, what in the world is a CVC?
All right, let's break it down. The first C stands for consonant. Pretty simple. That's just the letter that kicks off the word, like the B in bat or the P in pig. Easy enough, right?
Next up in the middle, we've got the V, and V stands for vowel. This is that really crucial sound right in the middle of the word. You know, your A, E, I, O, or U. And to finish it off, that last C stands for, you guessed it, another consonant, the letter that ends the word. So what you get is this beautifully simple, totally predictable pattern. Consonant, vowel, consonant.
Okay, now this is where the magic really happens. We can take these CVC words and group them into what we call word families. And really, all these are groups of rhyming words. They follow that CVC pattern, and they share the exact same middle vowel and final consonant. So think about it. Cat, hat, mat. They're all part of the same family. So, why does this work so well? Is it just some teaching trick? No way. This is actually based on a bit of science, how our brains are literally wired to process sounds. It all comes down to a concept called onset and rhyme. Basically, you can split every one of these CVC words into two little parts. You've got the onset, that's just the very first consonant sound. And then you have the rhyme. The rhyme is the rest of the word, the part that rhymes. Let's take the word pat, for example. The P sound, that's your onset. And the at sound, that's the rhyme. And here's the key. Once a child can recognize that at rhyme, they've basically just found the key to unlock a whole family of words. All right, so that's the theory behind it. But how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at how this simple idea becomes a full-on reading accelerator. It's a super simple three-step process. Check it out. Step 1, you help them master just one rhyme, let's say at. Step 2, you start swapping out the beginning onset, so you go from cat to bat to hat, and boom! Step 3, suddenly, they're not just reading one single word, they're reading an entire family of words, just like that.
I mean, think about how empowering that is for a new reader. It totally shifts their mindset. They go from thinking, oh man, I have to learn every single word that exists, to, hey, if I know this one little part, I can figure out all of these other words. That is a massive, incredible confidence booster.
Let's look at some actual examples with the short A sound. You've got the at family, right? Bat, cat, hat. Then you can move to the ag family, rag, bag, tag. Or how about the an family, can, pan, man. Once you see it, the pattern is just so clear and so powerful. Okay, here's a little pro tip for you. For words that end in an or am, that ah sound actually changes just a tiny bit. It gets a little more nasal. It's called a nasalized ah. It's just a small thing, but noticing that little detail can really help with pronunciation. And this isn't just for the letter A. This pattern works for all the short vowels. Let's take a look at the short I. If you master ig, you've got pig, wig, and dig. If you learn ip, you suddenly unlock rip, lip, and zip. See? It's the exact same logic, just with a different family.
Let's do one more, just to really drive it home. Here's the short U sound. You've got the ug family, the un family, and the ut family. And what's so cool is that with every new family they learn, a child's brain gets faster and faster at spotting these patterns. It just makes the whole process of reading feel so much more natural.
So, what does all of this add up to? Well, when a child masters this skill, you're basically giving them their first real reading superpower.
And the benefits here are just huge.
I mean, it seriously strengthens their awareness of sounds and words. It expands their sight word vocabulary like crazy. It builds what we call automaticity, that's just reading speed. And maybe most important of all, it gives them a massive, massive boost in confidence.
So just how big of an impact are we talking about here? I mean, how many words can this one little trick unlock? Well, take a look at this number. We're talking about more than 105.
That's right, over 105 words. By teaching these simple CVC word families, you are handing your child the key to read over 100 common words. That is not a marathon of flashcards. That is a quantum leap in their reading ability. It is all about working smarter, not harder.
And you know, this CVC pattern, it's really just the beginning. What it does is it builds this amazing foundation of looking for patterns in words, and that is a skill that will help them for their entire reading life. So the real question is, once you've cracked this first code, what other reading patterns will you and your child discover together?